Welcome back. If you're enjoying this story so far, remember to like the video and subscribe for more narrated stories like this. This part continues directly from the last one, where everything changed. Now, the investigation begins. Let's continue.
The day after discovering Edward's messages, I couldn't sleep. I wandered through our mansion like a ghost, passing walls adorned with expensive paintings, chandeliers, and rooms full of luxury. Yet everything felt empty. I realized then that none of this mattered. Not the money, not the fame, not the smiles of our friends. It was all meaningless if I couldn't trust the man next to me. I knew I needed proof, concrete proof, something that would show exactly who he really was. And that's when I decided to hire a private investigator. I still remember explaining to the PI, I need to know everything he's hiding. And he gave me a look like, whoa, lady, this is serious. Serious? Yeah, you have no idea. I felt my stomach drop. This wasn't just betrayal anymore. This was premeditated. And the thought that the man I loved, the man I trusted, could plan something like this, it was terrifying. Every day after that, I watched him more closely. Every smile, every joke, every affectionate word, I analyzed it, dissected it. Was he faking it? Were those hugs and kisses rehearsed? Was that smile hiding something darker? And then there were the small things. Receipts for dinners I wasn't invited to. Notes on his calendar for private meetings. Strange smells on his clothes. Perfume I didn't recognize. Lipstick I didn't own. Honestly, I almost started laughing at myself. I had been living with a stranger all along, pretending he was the husband I thought I knew. By the end of the week, I had gathered everything, every proof, every secret, every lie. I realized one undeniable truth. I couldn't confront him directly. Not yet. If I did, he would know I found out. And then he would act. That's when I started thinking bigger. Much bigger. I needed a plan, something bold, something dangerous, something that would turn the tables completely. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Angela, what could you possibly do? But at that point, fear had turned into determination. Desperation had sharpened my mind. And I was ready to take a risk so extreme that even Edward wouldn't see it coming. Have you ever had to do something so bold, so risky, that just thinking about it made your heart pound? That was me, planning my own disappearance to expose the man I loved and feared. By now, I knew Edward wasn't just cheating. He was dangerous. Every day I watched him, I noticed new lies, new secrets, and the lengths he would go to cover them. I realized that confronting him directly wasn't an option. If I did, I could end up like the whispers I'd heard about other women he had wronged. So I started thinking, if I couldn't face him head-on, maybe I could outsmart him, maybe I could disappear, just for a while, and see the truth for myself. I know, it sounds insane, right? Fake your own death to catch your husband in the act? But desperation has a way of making you do things you never imagined. I spent weeks planning every detail, every single detail. I created schedules, backup plans, and contingency routes. I memorized Edward's routines, his favorite spots, his friends, the places he often went for business. I needed him to believe I was gone completely and that nothing could trace me back. I started small, misplacing my personal items, leaving notes that seemed accidental, practicing a faint cough that could make it believable if I were gone suddenly. I studied news articles about car accidents, disappearances, and insurance claims. I needed it to look realistic, foolproof.
And then came the hardest part, practicing my emotions. I had to cry convincingly, act scared, appear fragile at the right moments, all while keeping my mind sharp and focused. I couldn't let Edward see through the act. I had to be believable. Perfect, even. Sometimes I'd even rehearse in front of the mirror, whispering to myself, "You can do this, Angela. You have to. For your life." It sounds ridiculous, I know, but it kept me grounded. Every step I took had to be measured. I had to predict his reactions. I had to anticipate what he would do if he suspected anything. And above all, I had to protect myself, both physically and emotionally.
I started collecting small items for my disappearance: clothes, personal belongings, fake documents. I even researched how to create a believable accident scenario without leaving traces of doubt. And every night, I'd lie awake in our massive mansion, staring at the chandelier, imagining Edward's face when he realized I wasn't just going to confront him, I was going to vanish entirely.
By the end of that month, everything was set. Every detail, every precaution, every single possibility had been planned. And I knew the moment I executed this, there was no turning back. But deep down, a part of me felt exhilarated. For the first time in months, I wasn't afraid of him. I had the upper hand. And the truth? Oh, the truth was waiting for me just around the corner.
But that night, it tasted like fear. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and I knew once I did this, there was no going back. It was a Friday night, the kind of night where the air feels heavy and even the stars seem to be watching. I remember standing in front of the mirror, staring at my reflection, my hair perfect, my makeup flawless, but inside, I was breaking. I whispered to myself, "This is it, Angela. Tonight, you disappear." Edward had told me he'd be home late again, another business dinner. Yeah, right. Probably another night with her. That was perfect. It gave me the window I needed. I packed a small bag, just the essentials: money, a change of clothes, my phone, and a small flash drive containing all the evidence the private investigator had gathered. I turned off my main phone, replaced it with a prepaid one, and wiped every trace of my recent activity. The hardest part? Writing the note. I sat at my vanity, pen trembling in my hand, staring at the blank paper. I needed it to sound desperate, emotional, believable. I wrote, "Edward, I can't take this anymore. I'm tired, I'm broken, and I just want peace. Please, don't look for me." I even let a few tears fall on the paper. Real ones. They made it look authentic. Guess my acting wasn't bad after all. Then came the setup. My car, my beloved white SUV, was the key to it all. I drove it to a quiet cliffside road about 30 minutes away from the city. It was late, around 11:45 p.m. The road was empty, the sea roaring below. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might give me away. I left my handbag in the car with my ID, a shoe, and the note inside. Then I pushed the car just enough to roll down the slope, and with one last deep breath, I let it go.
The crash echoed like thunder. The car tumbled, sparks flew, and then silence. Just the ocean waves and the smell of smoke. I stood there for a moment, hidden behind the rocks, watching the fire rise, watching my old life burn. And for the first time in a long while, I felt free. Terrified, yes, but free. You'd think I'd run straight away, right? But no, I stayed for a few minutes staring, crying, trembling, because I knew what would happen next.
By morning, they'd find the wreck. The headlines would read, "Billionaire's wife dies in tragic accident." Edward would cry on TV, play the perfect grieving husband, and collect that sweet insurance payout. And while the world mourned me, I'd be watching.
That night, I went to the small house I'd rented weeks before under a fake name, Lydia. Just a simple 2-room cottage near the outskirts of a nearby town. Nobody knew me there. I paid cash, no connections. I took a deep breath and looked at myself in the mirror, stripped of makeup, hair tied back, eyes swollen from crying. "This is the real me," I whispered. "No more lies." Then I turned on my phone, the burner one, and sent a single message to the private investigator. "It's done." And just like that, Angela Edwards was gone.